All right. Hey guys, I am so excited that you all are here to learn about Ayurveda. And I'm excited to be here. Ayurveda is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's something that really, really excites me. It's something that's completely changed my life. So having the opportunity to talk about something that I'm really passionate about and I really love, and then also working with people, um, and seeing them transform with this ancient science, this ancient wisdom is pretty amazing. So I'm really honored to be able to be sitting here and talking about this. So yeah, let's get started. Um, So tonight's topics, we're going to do a brief introduction. Then we're going to dive into the history of Ayurveda, the science of Ayurveda, how Ayurveda heals, the doshas, how the doshas relate to you, the seasons of Ayurveda, and then we're going to talk about an Ayurvedic cleanse. And then you'll have the opportunity to get some information to sign up for my Ayurvedic cleanse. So, who is this? This is me. This is me. My name is Caitlin Sonye, and I am an Ayurvedic wellness consultant. And just real quick, my health history, my health background is what brought me to Ayurveda. It's what I used Ayurveda for. Um, Back in 2009, when I moved to Kentucky, I was diagnosed with some crazy diagnoses like multiple sclerosis and fibromyalgia at 21. I was not willing to buy that diagnosis, so I did a little, I took the naturopathic route and found out that I had celiac disease, which was causing all of these symptoms of these diseases that I had. So I did an elimination diet and things were kind of good. Um, then I was in a car accident, and the car accident is what brought me to my mat, what brought me physically to yoga. And yoga brought me to my yoga teacher training, and then my yoga teacher training brought me to Ayurveda. And my health was doing okay at the time, but my one of my teachers was an Ayurvedic wellness consultant, and she was talking about Ayurveda and how it related to yoga. And when she started talking about the science of Ayurveda, I remember like my whole body like lighting up. Like I knew this was something for me. So I started working with her. And like I said, my health was okay. Like I was so much better. I wasn't having the same symptoms that I was having. But after working with her, I felt like it was the connection to the missing piece to a puzzle. And it kind of just connected everything together. Almost like it was like if you've watched Transformers and how they're missing that last like gear or link, and then it kind of just and then everything just like lights up. They turn into something different. That's what happened to me. So so I practiced Ayurveda for a little while. I stopped. Symptoms came back. Practiced it again. Then my teacher was like, "You just need to learn how to do this for yourself. So go to school." So I went to school, and here I am. Now it's like it's a lifelong thing. Like it's such a vast concept that I'm constantly learning about it, and there's always something new to learn. Um, so for me, Ayurveda means actually connection. Like it was the missing link, and it has an answer for everything. Like I may not know the answers. I don't know all the answers, let's be honest. But I look it up, I feel into it, I try to figure out how Ayurveda can answer that question, and it always comes out to be accurate. Um, so that's what Ayurveda means to me. So my mission here in this life is to use the principles of Ayurveda to help people, help my clients fall in love with their bodies, to fall in love with their life, to feel connected to something bigger, to feel connected to themselves, to feel connected to their health, to want to take care of themselves. Because I remember there was a time when I didn't want to take care of myself. I did not like my body. I didn't want to be in it. And I can't imagine feeling that way again. So, kind of sounds funny, but I want everybody to feel like I feel. um, so, if you know me, you know that I love Sanskrit words. And if you don't know me, now you know I love Sanskrit words. And Sanskrit is an ancient language. It's what Ayurveda and yoga is rooted in. And one of my favorite Sanskrit words is swastha, and it means seated in the self. So for me, health truly asks the question, are you happy? Are you connected to yourself? Are you with you? Are you here? Are you present? Because it's rooted in the self. And through the practices of Ayurveda and yoga, I really got connected with myself and asked all the questions. Are you happy with yourself? And boy, was I not happy with myself. But I am now. So that's my mission. It's another part of my mission is to connect you with your happy. So the history of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a Sanskrit word, and it means, the Ayur part means life or you, and Veda means wisdom or study of. So it simply translates to the wisdom of you, the study of you, how you interact with life, how life affects you. It's a play on life's energies and your energies. And Ayurveda is an ancient practice. Some people say 5,000 years, some people say 10,000 years. So I just went with 5,000 plus. Ayurveda is divinely inspired to heal, uplift, and empower the people. And so just like the Bible was divinely inspired, so was this ancient text, so was Ayurveda, by the rishis. So the rishis were like prophets or sages of the time that had the ability to see and to feel, so they could see the bigger picture of things happening in their environment. And they would go out into the forest and meditate, and they were inspired by the divine, this message, this science, this system to heal, uplift, and empower the people. So Ayurveda is definitely looks at the holistic person and analyzes the energies of that person to understand how the energies of your environment, the energies of your behaviors, the energies of your food affect the energies already in your body. Ayurveda says that all of the aspects of health are interconnected. So it's a holistic approach. Like Ayurveda is not just looking at a system like the cardiovascular system. It looks how everything works together synergistically with mind, body, and soul. Ayurveda explains how your unique makeup responds and changes to the environment around you. So, I mean, you may have had the experience like whenever you move to a different house or you move to a different city, like you become somebody different, you become something different. So Ayurveda kind of looks at things like that. So whenever you eat a different meal, you could become something totally different based on the energies of that meal. Whenever you are with a different person, you can become something totally different based on the energies of that person. So it's just looking at everything from like the eyes of like energy. Ayurveda explains the symptoms of imbalances and gets to the root cause of diseases. So whenever you have symptoms of imbalance, that your body's communicating, trying to communicate with you, but you're too disconnected to hear, then it manifests into dis-ease and disorders. And then that's what we can kind of hear louder because it's deeper in our system. So Ayurveda gets to the root cause of that, because sometimes it could be as simple as, yeah, I've been believing this certain belief for so many years, and that's what's been making me sick. Like, oh, okay. So it describes the energetic mind-body type and the connection between your body and your mind and your body through something called the doshas. And we'll get to that in a few slides. But how Ayurveda heals. So Ayurveda heals in many, many ways. But the biggest way that it heals is through the five senses. So the picture that you see is a picture of some of the tools that you use in an Ayurvedic lifestyle, Ayurvedic routine, to help heal the senses. So like you have a tongue scraper. to help heal your sense of taste. You have a dry brush to help stimulate and heal your sense of touch. Oil massage with the oil kind of does the same thing. And when you heal the senses, you are also healing the organs because, like we said, everything is connected. Ayurveda also heals through energy management. It teaches you the rhythm of your energy and the rhythm of the environment. So you can match that. So you can be in harmony with the environment. Ayurveda heals through understanding the five basic elements and their qualities. We'll really get into that in a minute. And strengthening the Agni. Agni is another Sanskrit word that means digestion. Ayurveda focuses a lot on digestion. And digestion is really important in Ayurveda because you not only digest food, but you digest everything. You digest experiences, you digest things that you see, you digest things that you touch, you digest things that you hear. See how all of the five senses, it's so important to heal through them because you're digesting through all of those orifices. Ayurveda also heals through mantra, through prayer, and through beliefs. So working with an Ayurveda consultant or practitioner, they really get down to like, what are your beliefs? What do you think about yourself? Do you think your body can heal itself? They use prayer, they use crystals, and so mantra just means prayer. It's just like something that you say over and over. And then food and herbs, and also movement and lifestyle. Um, yeah, so here are the doshas. So, dosha means organization or pattern, and doshas are energy types that are seen in absolutely everything from people, plants, animals, food and herbs, seasons, your times of life, the time of day, and different behaviors and actions. Like you can see these doshas in absolutely everything. In relation to our vessel, to our body, dosha means flaw or blemish. So if you already know your dosha and you identify with a dosha, that just means that that's where you can experience most of your imbalances. Most of your symptoms, most of your diseases will be rooted in that dosha. Each dosha is made up of two elements and contains those elements' qualities. So there's ether, air, fire, water, and earth. And ether is the element that's also like space. So it's vastness and it's expansive. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It's almost what that would feel like is if you're sitting in a room and you think you're by yourself, but then like you feel something, and you turn around and there's your kid or your husband or your cat or something. That's kind of like the response of ether. Air is light and moving. We're experiencing a lot of air right now with all this wind that's blowing in here if you're in South Louisiana. Fire is hot and powerful. Water is full, fluid and flowy and cool. And earth is really dense and grounding. So with those five elements, you also have different qualities. And qualities are like the characteristics of those elements. So like the qualities of a few qualities of air is it's light and it's mobile. So the first dosha is Vata Dosha, and Vata Dosha is made of ether and air, and its qualities it moves a lot, so it's very mobile. It's clear, it's sharp. Whenever it's the wind's really whipping, it's really sharp. It's dry, it's cool, it's rough, and it's light. So Vata energy, Vata dosha, is responsible for anything and everything that moves. And that means that in your environment and also in your body. So anytime you see something moving, you are witnessing Vata dosha. So whenever you see a car traveling or an airplane flying or your fan spinning, animals moving, trees blowing in the wind, that's Vata dosha. whenever you feel your eyes blinking or see your eyes blinking, your mouth moving as you talk, you can't see your heartbeat, but you feel it. Like that's movement in your body. Vata Dosha is responsible for the central nervous system, for the heartbeat, the eye blinking, the circulation in the body, respiration, like the air flowing through the body. Vata Dosha is responsible for emotions and nutrient assimilation and so many more things. When it comes to your digestive system and your digestive tract, right? So Vata Dosha is everywhere in the body, but when it comes to digestion, because digestion is so important in Ayurveda, Vata Dosha is housed in your colon. So whenever if you were to be feeling a lot of Vata Dosha in your body, you could be experiencing dry skin, dry hair, dry brittle nails, insomnia, anxiety, fear, panic, cracky, achy joints, different things of that, constipation, gas and bloating. Like those are Vata imbalance symptoms. And you may be thinking like, oh my gosh, I deal with that all of the time. Then that could be an indication that you have a lot of Vata energy in your body. So that means you probably err on the side of having a Vata dosha for yourself. Vata people tend to be very tall and lanky. They have smaller recessed eyes, more profound protruding teeth, knobby joints, but they're very, very creative. They have thousands of ideas. They just really can't root down on one idea, but they are the creatives. The next dosha is Pitta Dosha. So Pitta Dosha is made of fire and water, and it's hot and oily. It's very intense. It's a pushy type of energy. It forces its way through things. Pitta Dosha is responsible for all of transformation outside of you and transformation inside of you. So anytime you see things transform, that is Pitta Dosha. Like our day completely transforms from morning to night. So that is Pitta energy. The role that Pitta plays in the body is digestion, metabolism. It regulates temperature and the luster of your skin, and the intelligence. As far as the digestion, Pitta is housed in the intestines and the liver. And whenever you feel the symptoms of a lot of Pitta in the body is maybe acid reflux or heartburn, really hot skin, you're sweating a lot, you might have acne or rashes on the skin, hormonal imbalances usually have related to Pitta Dosha. Pittas are leaders. They're usually about medium build. They have red skin, usually blue eyes, but they're very, very good leaders. They like to take charge and lead the way with their direction. And then we go to Kapha Dosha. Kapha is made of water and earth, and it's very dense. It's very dull and heavy. It doesn't move very much. It's wet and it's dull. Kapha is responsible for stability and structure around us and within our bodies. So whenever you, like, I feel like South Louisiana has such Kapha energy because it's usually always very humid here. And I mean, half of the state is below sea level. So, I mean, we really are rooted into the earth. Like, we're really heavy and dense here. So I feel like if you're in Louisiana, you experience Kapha Dosha on the regular basis. But the role in the body for Kapha is for strength, fat regulation, memory, restoring and revitalizing the body, and lubricating the joints. So it's really there to house and hold you here. It's located in the stomach, because it's a container that holds your food, right? So it's located in your stomach. And having a lot of kapha in the body would feel, um, would look like being overweight. Like you retain a lot of weight, you retain a lot of moisture. Um, Kapha people are very nurturing, they're very earthy, they're very present. They usually have larger lips, larger eyes, lustrous hair, oily skin. Um, but they are peaceful and calm. So that's the Kapha energy. So, relating you to the doshas. So we have all three doshas in our bodies, and the way the doshas are organized in our body makes up our constitution. So, for example, um, my constitution is Kapha Vata Pitta, which means I have more Kapha. I have almost as much Vata as I do Kapha, and just a little tiny bit of Pitta. So your constitution would be completely unique. And even if you relate to being Kapha Vata Pitta, we have the different percentages. So your constitution is uniquely specific to you. And your constitution will absolutely shift and change, for lots and lots of reasons, for your lifespan, the time of day, and the seasons. So don't get attached to your dosha. Um, so, like for your lifespan, you start off your life in kapha phase of your life because you're really getting used to being on this earth. Like you're a soul that finally made it into a body, and you're like, wait, what is happening? So you're really learning how to live on earth. Whenever you are leaving high school, going into college, like choosing your career path, you reach the pitta time of life, because you're really like going into a specific direction. And then once you reach retirement age, you go into what they call the wisdom years. And that's Vata time, whenever you can use more of that creativity that you've been hanging on to, for all those Pitta years. But so that's lifespan. It also changes throughout the time of day because Ayurveda breaks up the clock into 4 hour increments instead of 24. But we'll have to save that for another discussion. Also, seasons. So your constitution will change based on the seasons, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, definitely don't get attached to your dosha because it's always changing. But even though it always changes, most of your symptoms and imbalances are going to be showing up for you a lot in the dosha that you relate with the most. So here it is, doshas and the seasons. So each season relates to a different dosha. So right now we are in Vata season. So fall and early winter is Vata season. And when we're in Vata season, that means there's a lot of air and ether in our environment. And when there's a lot of air and ether in our environment, there's also a lot of air and ether in our bodies. So right now, whether you relate to Vata dosha or not, you could be experiencing a lot of Vata symptoms that we talked about, like fear, anxiety, insomnia, constipation, cracking, aching joints, like all the thoughts, not being able to root down on one idea, like feeling like you can multitask. Like right now, I feel like an octopus. Like I have so many arms, I can conquer so many different things, but my mind does not stop and it's making me bonkers. So I have to really lean in hard to my grounding practices so I can that vata energy. Um, so yeah, so right now you're probably experiencing a lot of that energy, whether you relate to vata or not. If you do relate to vata, then you're probably like, oh my gosh, I need some help. um, but the next one is kapha. So kapha is winter and early spring. And during kapha season, you may feel heavier in the body. You may feel um, like what they call the Kapha blues. Like you may drift off into depression. You may suffer from sinus infections, are feeling really full in your sinuses. Um, Lots of lymph in the lungs happens during winter and early spring. And in summertime, summer is Pitta season, so you may feel really hot. You may get really frustrated. You may get really hot headed and angry and just feel like you can't cool off, and it's really irritable. Um, so, a buildup of elements and their qualities lead to imbalances if they're not tended to properly. So, we should change seasonally like a tree, but there's so many times I know I did not change my habits seasonally. I didn't even think about it. Like, yeah, of course I changed my clothes. Like I would wear warmer clothes, but I didn't think like I can't have ice cream in the winter. I didn't think that, hey, it's maybe consider not putting ice in your water during the winter. Like I never thought of those things until practicing Ayurveda. And like the best way that I can explain this that makes you think like, of course we should all, change our habits in the season is like you have a tree. It's trees in your yard, and you watch it grow and change every season. And right now it's losing all of its leaves. And in the wintertime, it's a naked tree. It doesn't have any leaves. So, I mean, there's not going to be any birds go and make a nest in that home. Like it's not necessary. So it's that tree becomes something completely different. It looks different. It feels different. It has a different purpose. It's quieting down. It's rooting down. It's taking a nap. It's taking a break. Like we should be doing that. We should fall, shed all our leaves, shed all the stuff that's no longer serving us, get rid of it, and then let ourselves be and rest because shedding is hard work. Let yourself be and rest. And then whenever the springtime rolls around and then the heat of the summertime, like let that start transforming you. Let that, all the things that you rested on and you brought in and went introspective on, let them grow and bloom and prosper and then become something totally different all over again. So we should change seasonally, just like trees change seasonally. But we just forget because it's so easy and convenient to go to the grocery store and get whatever you need. Um, so, an Ayurvedic cleanse. So, because we should change seasonally, during each season, we store up a lot of each dosha in our bodies. And whenever we store up a lot of one dosha in our body, it pushes all of the other ones out of place, particularly in our digestive tract. So Ayurveda says to clean seasonally because the elements build up and cause imbalances. So we have like these little dark crevices in our body where built up doshas go and hide. And whenever that energy goes and hides there, it can cause dis-ease because it's not meant to live there. That's not its home. It's meant to be in its home in our digestive tract. Like the doshas leave our digestive tract, go off and do a job, but are supposed to come back to it. But they get stuck because of all of the imbalances from the buildup of the elements. So an Ayurvedic cleanse supports the clean out of those elements. So what the cleanse is designed to do is it's designed to completely nourish the body so the body can take a break so the organs can naturally cleanse themselves. Like I know we're all told and we all know that our bodies can heal themselves, but our bodies can only heal themselves when they feel supported, when they are supported. So during the cleanse, you are asked to remove things from your diet that aren't very supportive. Like we don't really need them, like caffeine and alcohol and animal products, um, particularly meat. And that's a whole different topic that we talk about during the cleanse. Um, Processed foods, sugars, those are all things that are very inflammatory to the digestive system, and we don't really need them. So we take those out of our diet, and then That's the first part of the cleanse. The first phase is elimination. You take things out of your diet. And then the second part of the cleanse is the cleanse part where you eat this yellow stuff right here called khichdi. And khichdi is made of basmati rice and mung dal beans. Basmati rice is really, really low in glycemic, has a really low glycemic index. And mung dal beans is packed with so much protein and amino acids. And then it's cooked down with these spices like cumin, coriander, fennel, fenugreek, turmeric. I can smell it as I'm naming the spices. But so it's cooked down with all those spices, and each one of those spices really supports and nourishes one of the organs in the digestive tract. For example, coriander is for the liver, so that's what that one's working on. So for 5 days, and it can be done in a bunch of different ways. We go through that in the cleanse, but for 5 days you're eating khichdi. And then for the last part of the phase, you are going back to what they call a whole food plant-based diet. So you're slowly bringing in foods that you eliminated from the diet. You're eating real food, real food, whole foods again. And then that's when your body can totally tell you, like you hear so clearly the calls and the cries of your body. I've been doing this cleanse for a really, really long time, like over 10 years. And I've done it with Ayurveda practitioners. I've done it on my own. I've done it in communities. And every time it's a whole different experience. I learned something new about my mind. I learned something new about my body. It's amazing, the things that I learned from this cleanse. I also learned my attachments to food, like seeing what my mind tells me and does during this cleanse is always so profound, because one of my goals in life is to be free. Like I want to be completely free, and this cleanse really shows me areas of my life where I am not free. So it's definitely a cleanse for the mind, the body, and the soul. This cleanse improves the health of the healthy and also helps manage disease. So if you are a healthy person, this cleanse is good for you. If you have specific diseases, this cleanse is also for you. It's a digestive reset. It's an immunity builder. It's it's a great way to just clean out, make space, and become aware of what's good for you now. Because what was good for you last year and during the summer may not be good for you now. So you can then take an assessment of lifestyle and of habits. And if the word cleanse kind of freaks you out because you've done cleanses before and they were like horrifying, like I've done juice cleanses before and my body can't do juice cleanses. Like I know some people that they work really, really well with them, but my body is like, what is happening? But what I love about this cleanse is it's completely nourishing and rejuvenating versus depleting and stripping. So you are getting all of the nourishment that you need, but in a way that's going to slow you down. So yeah, your system's going to change a little bit. Like usually when you hear cleanse, you're like, am I going to be in the bathroom like 50 times a day? Like, no, you really slow down a lot. Like a lot of people are concerned. They're like, I haven't gone to the bathroom in a couple of days. I'm like, just wait, it'll be fine. Like just hold on, you'll get there. But you're getting nourished and the whole time, like there's no stripping. And whenever it's time for the actual, like what we're gonna call, when it's time for the purge, it's so gentle. It's so gentle, and it's just like you've hung on to it for a little while and then you just like let it go, and then you're just like, it's great. So that's a little bit about the cleanse. It's an invitation to make space and create new. And it's 14 days long, and it's done in 3 consecutive phases. So if I didn't say too much, I kind of scared you away from the cleanse. If you're interested in the cleanse, I am doing a community one. It starts October 10th and will go through October 23rd. So October 10th is day 1. October 23rd is day 14. Our first call will be together on October 5th. So if you are interested, sign up before October 1st and you get 20% off. But in the cleanse, you get weekly virtual group calls. So just a time, I'm going to give a little lesson um, on Ayurveda, on the science of Ayurveda each week, and you'll get a time, a moment to talk about what you've noticed, share, ask questions. You'll get a detailed guide, daily checklists, a list of all the supplies that you need with a grocery list. I've got some self care videos, recipes, and a Facebook support group. So if that is something you guys are interested in, I will post a link in the chat. And yeah, you guys can sign up. Um, so you guys stick around if you want to ask questions or want the link that I'm going to post after I stop recording. But if you have to go, I'm going to say thank you for being here. I'm also going to put the link for like my discovery call. If you want to ask more questions or connect with me, you can do that as well. But I'm going to stop the share and stop the recording. And if you want to hang out for a little bit longer, I'm still going to be here. Um, let's see.